So today we have Dr. Ivan Misner on today to share about the future of networking, and he shares a little bit about, of course, BNI over the past 40 years, and then looking forward to the future as well.
Thank you, Bethany. I appreciate you running these seminars, these webinars. And wow, it's amazing all the people. We have people from Canada, the Philippines, the US, several states in the US, Mexico, Colombia, all kinds of people, France, Malaysia. What a great turnout. I'm really impressed. Today I'm going to talk about the 40-year history briefly, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the future of BNI as I see it. It is 40 years of the past and the vision for the future. And I am definitely happy to take some questions at the end. First, I want to take a little look at the past, look into the past of BNI and how we started. I literally started in this house. The office was up above, and we had a little part of the garage to do shipping in, and back in 1985. So this was BNI headquarters in 1985 for about 5 years or so, I think. It was in that house. This is the one office that we had in. If you look at this slide, the circle above in the house is this office here. It was basically a game room that we converted into an office for my consulting business and later for BNI. This is my original business card, the network. It was an AIM consulting affiliate. It started under my consulting business. The original name for the company was the Network. And here's one of our original lapel pins for the Network. We changed the name because we could not trademark the name The Network. It was too generic and it was untrademarkable. So we started working on changing the name in the late 80s, and finally by the early 90s, we were able to change it to BNI. Also in the early 90s, we moved out of my house that I just showed you because my late wife and I started having babies. And we needed a room. I actually, at that point, had turned another bedroom into an office, and we needed that other bedroom. So we moved to a house in Claremont that was in commercial land, but it was a house. And here's a photo of a very young Ivan, somewhere around 1990, 1991, in the shipping area of the Claremont home/office. So Claremont was our second location. A few years later, we moved to this location, BNI headquarters. Loved this office. We had the whole building. It was very relaxing to have the building there, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. But we outgrew that within about 8 years and moved to this location, BNI headquarters, in 2004. And today, as you may know, we have lots of locations. Our primary office is in Charlotte, but we're also in Mumbai, Bangalore, Sri Lanka, Mysore, Paris. We're in China, Castlebar, Ireland. We're in many countries around the world where we have regional offices. Headquarters, the global support team is still in Charlotte, or primarily in Charlotte. This is our growth for the last 40 years, technically 39. I am really pleased to say that it is almost a certainty that 2024 will end the year with growth. So we will have had 40 years of consecutive growth. Very few companies in the world can say that, and we can say that. We have had 40 years of growth. Even during COVID, BNI grew because people were desperate for business and they joined BNI. And so it truly is amazing to see the growth curve for the organization. And you can't really see recessions. I mean, like 2008, the Great Recession would have been right here. You can't see that at all. And other recessions throughout the years just don't show up. And so we have grown during recessions or during boom times. And it's very, it really pleases me to see the growth of this organization over the last 40 years. So let's talk about my 2017-2018 prediction. It's 2017-2018 because I first brought it up in 2017. And I wrote about it in 2018. And you can find an article on entrepreneur.com where I say basically that the future of face-to-face is online. And I said that at a BNI convention in 2017. And I did not get a good reaction from the directors. They were appalled that I thought that that we would need to develop some types of online platforms eventually. And then I wrote about it in 2018. I saw the technology advancing, but I didn't see COVID coming. I did not see COVID coming, but I did see the technology advancing. And it most certainly has been advancing. Let's reflect on the future. First and foremost, we're going to have a technology-enhanced networking. The online medium for BNI Connect, and the mobile app, are here to stay, and we're going to continue working on them. We have a number of ideas that we're working towards. One is a single sign-on for the first time, where you can sign on in one place and get access to BNI Connect, Business Builder, everything that you have access to. So that's one of the things. We are definitely going to continue to embrace technology. And we had last year in Dubai, we had a chapter president show up at a meeting as a hologram, and she ran the entire meeting as a holographic image. Now, clearly the technology is not there. Dubai had a member who did this technology for bringing in outside speakers. And so he wanted to show it, and he showed it with the president, who was not in the room. And this was the first time we've had a holographic image for a meeting. When we start doing that, if we ever get to that point where we're starting to do that, it's like the Jedi Knights. I want to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just saying, that's what I'd like to be. But I think this kind of thing is the future, whether we like it or not. We can embrace disruption, or we can be disrupted. And I prefer to embrace the disruption, as we did during COVID. Very few companies grew during COVID, but we did, because we embraced the opportunities that existed. We're going to have more and more data-driven analytics. And by this, I mean, we will look at the facts based on the data. And I hate it when my opinion is overturned by the data, but it's happened a couple of times. One was the use of substitutes, that chapters who use substitutes properly, that's the caveat, who use substitutes properly, meaning they're not just a place mark and they're not there to talk about themselves, they're there to talk about the person they're subbing for. Chapters who do it properly actually do better. Chapters that don't do it properly don't do better. So we want to have data-driven analytics. And now with BNI Connect, we can do that much easier. We can do that. One of the things that's very important to us is inclusive networking. And some people might think this is a factor just in the United States, but it's not. Many countries have issues with inclusive networking, starting with gender in some countries, and ethnicity in some countries. And so inclusive networking is an important part of the future of this organization. Networks are by nature clumpy. That's the technical term. People tend to hang out with people like them, but that doesn't work well. What you want is you have a cluster you have a relationship with, but if you have people in that cluster that are different than you, they connect to other clusters of people that are different than you. So if you have a very inclusive network yourself, then you have these linkages to these other diverse networks. And the truth is, inclusive networking is not only the right thing to do, it's smart business. And so the more you can bring in young people, the more you can bring in women in some countries where they're not represented substantially, ethnicities where they may not be represented substantially, the better. Community and social impact is a very important thing for BNI. We have a BNI Foundation. It's, I think, the organization's best kept secret. I have been trying for years to get us to do a link on BNI.com or a link on applications and renewals where people could donate to the BNI Foundation if they were interested in doing so. We have given away millions of dollars to charitable organizations all around the world. Our focus on the BNI Foundation is children and education. And it was started in 1998, the foundation, and has done amazing things. An organization with the philosophy of givers gain is absolutely going to want to support causes in their local area. We are not a community service organization, but there's nothing wrong with a charitable focus from time to time. And I invite you to go to the BNI Foundation website, bnifoundation.com, and check it out. More and more, we want to see enhanced member engagement, and particularly through things like Business Builder. Business Builder is another thing that some members just haven't used. Although we've had hundreds of thousands, if not millions, hours used on Business Builder. In order to get engagement of members worldwide, you need to actively be involved in things like Business Builder, listening to BNI podcast, reading my blog. These things get member engagement. Doing one-to-ones, which I have a podcast on, that really gets member engagement. And we have data on this, that if you do 4 one-to-ones a month, you're going to double the amount of business that you get if you are only doing one one-to-one a month. So if you do one one-to-one a month versus 4 one-to-ones a month, you will double the amount of business that you get in a BNI chapter. So engagement is critical. I want to see gamification on the platform. We have gamification worldwide, but I don't believe we have it on a chapter level or even a regional level yet. And I think we need it on a chapter level, where if you are engaged in the learning in the CEUs, you show up higher in rankings to show people who's really engaged in the process. And that concept is called gamification. So I'm a big believer in that, and I think that's a direction that we will be going. We need to strengthen our global connections. BNI Connect can be utilized much more effectively. People come to me and say, "How do I connect with people around the world?" And I'm like, "Are you on BNI Connect?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on." "But are you on any groups in BNI Connect?" "No." Well, so you want to strengthen your global connections, but you're not connecting with people globally on BNI Connect. Think about this. BNI has over 330,000 members. If you want to strengthen your global connections, get on BNI Connect, join a group, have conversations. That's the way to strengthen global connections. It's another engagement issue, but BNI Connect can absolutely help you do that. I know there are lawyer groups, there are travel agency groups, there are real estate groups, and they all really help one another in BNI Connect. We want to strengthen leadership development, and here Business Builder is important. And a lot of people don't know this, which I find amazing, but there are actually 18 videos on BNI's Business Builder. 18 videos with John Maxwell, who is, in my opinion, the world's leading expert on leadership. He and I talk about leadership and how it relates to BNI. And it is amazing that we were able to get John to do 18 videos with us. They're all short, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I think the longest is 6 minutes, short bite-sized pieces. But if you want to improve your leadership as a business person, particularly if you're on the leadership team, you should watch every one of these videos on BNI Business Builder. They're amazing. We want to respond to industry trends, just like we did with COVID. We responded very quickly with COVID, and most of the credit goes to Graham Weimiller, who was the CEO at the time, and he's now chairman. And he really saw COVID coming, and we were able to transition to online pretty quickly. Almost 10,000, we had 9,800 chapters at the time. Almost all of them transitioned within a few months, and actually within a few weeks in every country. And it was really quite amazing to observe. So we want to be able to continue to respond to industry trends. We also want to strengthen data analytics, and we want to maintain a personal touch. You've got to maintain a personal touch. The personal touch varies. I can't meet 330,000 members. I can't go to 11,200 chapters, but I can do Zoom webinars like this and have personal connection with people. In this kind of environment, I can do podcasts and respond to members via the podcasts. So the personal touch is still very important, and it's very important all the way down to the chapter level. Leadership teams need to have that personal touch. So that's some of the things that I see for the future of BNI.